A final technique for dealing with the problem of controlling images, as we're going to see in just one moment, it's sometimes a good idea to work with exercises that give us experience in creating unusual images and moving those images around in our minds. The exercises offered in the monographs and in the many excellent books on the subject usually begin by offering us simple, non-threatening objects to play with. As our experience grows, or our ability grows, we can learn to change and create and move gradually more complicated symbols and images. Let's try one of these exercises out together. In this particular exercise, we're going to be working with a nice, round, bouncy balloon, just like one of these. Now take a good look at these balloons and choose one that you would like to work with. Pick the color of the balloon that you would like to work with. Now, look directly at this screen and close your eyes and picture a large, uninflated balloon in your mind. Mentally blow it up until it is half full, but distinctly round and bouncy, and knot it. Now throw the balloon up in the air. When it touches the ceiling, stop it there. Now bring it down to the floor and make it bounce along the floor. And stop it. Bring it back to you. Now reach out and hold on to your balloon. You can get a grip on the knot, or you can hold the whole thing in your arms. Now, as you make the balloon begin to rise again, it carries you with it quite safely up in the air. As you look around, you can see other people also up with you near the ceiling. If you would like, make the balloon float you any place in the room. Now, come back and make the balloon gently lower you to the floor. Now undo the knot and deflate your balloon. Put it in your pocket or purse. And if your balloon flew away while you were deflating it, you might want to go and pick it up so you can keep it for another time. You may open your eyes. Wasn't that fun? Very good. One last area of difficulty is developing visualizations that have the spark of life we're looking for. Try as we might, the images in our minds just seem to be flat pictures with no oomph. In order to succeed with a visualization, it must appear to be as real as possible. So let's make it real by adding all the attributes of actuality: color, sound, smell, and texture. Let's try another exercise. Close your eyes and in your mind see your apple once again. It's just been washed in clean, icy cold water. See how red it is. See the different shadings in the red. See how the drops of water sparkle on it like jewels. Now pick up your apple and feel how cold and smooth the skin is. It feels almost waxy, doesn't it? Now bite into it, feeling your teeth piercing the skin and hearing the crunch as your teeth sink into the apple. Smell the tart, sweet apple smell and taste how good it is. And when you've finished chewing, you may open your eyes. Once again, in order for a visualization to appear to be real, it must have all the attributes of actuality. The image, in effect, must feel real. The last element we need to add to our visualization, and the most crucial, is emotion. You know, many fratres and sorors have shared that one of the hardest things for them to do is to visualize people or themselves in their minds. Other people say that it's also very hard for them to become emotional about their mental images. Perhaps that this is because, again, we tend to look at the images and people in our minds the way we do at this photograph. We see it as just a flat, static image frozen into immobility. But you know, people and events in actuality aren't like that at all, are they? They are alive, dancing spheres of vibrant energy, full of movement and emotion. Let's try another exercise. Close your eyes and see in your mind someone you love. It could be a spouse, a friend, a parent, or a child, anybody you wish. Now, you can see this person quite clearly in your minds. And you remember a time when this person was very angry with you. As your eyes move across the face, as you scan it, just the way you would if the person were standing in front of you, you can see just how angry this person is. Now you remember a time when something funny happened. How does the person's face look now? And now you see this person's face filled with sorrow and grief. Look how unhappy this person is. And now the person turns and catches a glimpse of you, and you see the face filled with love for you. How do you feel each time the face changes? You may open your eyes. In this last exercise, I wonder how many of you actually saw the face. How many of you just felt it or heard it? Whether we saw or felt the face, it was just as real, wasn't it? Which points up the fact that the word visualization may actually be quite misleading. We don't need to see something to know it's real. All we have to do is feel it. Our lives, the composite of energy which defines us, is primarily one of feeling. When we say that we're seeking peace profound, are we looking for a visible place or thing? No. We're seeking an emotional state, a feeling of peace, serenity, and security. Everybody, fratres and sorors, visualizes differently. Some see, some hear. But all successful visualizations must ultimately only feel. Something doesn't need to look real to feel real. Therefore, we must never let our expectations with visualization discourage us. We must just accept that whatever we experience is exactly the right visualization experience for us at that time. Let's remember that bad feelings, feelings of failure and negativity, extinguish impressions and break concentration. What's worse, they program the mind against improvement. Have confidence. We are always exactly where we need to be, and we are always progressing just as we should. Because again, something doesn't have to look real to be real. In the outer objective world, the images and impressions we receive are stimulated by external events. In visualization, they're stimulated by internal events. But the process and the effects are quite similar. All experiences, all events impacting us, whether from external or internal events can and should be learning experiences. Therefore, whatever impressions we receive from our visualizations, let's make the commitment now that we will just accept them, enjoy them, and benefit from the many, many insights they will bring. For they are just as real as what's in front of our eyes. As a matter of fact, the more often and the more joyfully we work and play with our visualizations, the more we're going to understand them, the more meaning they will have, and the more successful we'll become with them. As we begin to open up to our sometimes unusual and surprising inner images, no matter how fantastic they may seem, we will find that they will begin to have a much more positive impact in our lives. Indeed, many fratres and sorores have shared that some of their best, most successful visualizations have in fact been very silly. One soror experienced a very crushing problem that was solved in a visualization, and it was solved, believe it or not, by a little fluffy green walking bush. Another frater had a very serious situation rectified by a friendly moose. Working with a terrible family dispute and struggling to create a harmony and love once again in the home, a frater found that the family dog kept popping into his visualization. He'd throw the dog out, the dog would pop back in again. Finally he gave up and just put his arms around the furry little guy and experienced much needed love and support. While struggling with a personal problem, one soror, much to her surprise, found herself nose to beak with an impertinent-looking seagull with little beady black eyes. All four of these people said that although these experiences were most unusual and surprising, they just accepted them. And they found these delightful symbols to be very supportive during very painful times. Most importantly, all four people found in these silly visualizations the very insight that they were so desperately seeking. Fratres and sorors, we've touched on a number of topics in our talk. Let's summarize all this information by working again with a visualization. I'd like to return to the visualization we did the first time, working with our goal. If you're ready, close your eyes and visualize in your minds a very pleasant and happy place, maybe on a mountaintop or by the ocean or a river or in a lovely room. If you would like, you may ask a special friend to come and visit you here and join you on your visualization adventure. This special friend may be a person, an animal, or a plant, but it's someone who knows how wonderful and deserving you are. Look around you. Is someone there with you? Now, with your special friend beside you, see your goal or the solution to your problem once again in your minds. See it very clearly. Now move to the side or the back of your scene, or you may even want to float above it and look at it from on top. See your scene now from another perspective. How is it different? Look at the colors in the scene. Smell the smells. Hear the sounds. Reach out and touch something or move something. Now, how do you feel about what you are experiencing. Ask your special friend now to show you something important about your goal or the answer you seek. Now that you have solved your problem or reached your goal, what happens next? When you are ready, repeat to yourself, into the cosmic, I release this image. It is done. You may open your eyes. Now that you have your heart's desire, you are filled with energy and enthusiasm, and you can feel the vital life force flowing into your arms and legs. You are filled with life, energy, and enthusiasm. Fratres and sorors, life is a precious gift, an exciting adventure to be lived. In our metaphysical work, whether we are exploring projection and ESP, creating happiness for our loved ones, or peace on earth for all mankind, let's let our visualizations become exciting, adventurous voyages. When we do, I promise you, we will always find within us marvelous treasures and wonderful experiences. For within each of us is a place where we truly know the answer to any question or need. There is a source which will always provide inspiration and solace, a source which can create anything and everything our soul desires. Fratres and sorors, it is within us, springing from our heartfelt visualizations, that we find the very source of life itself and the source of our peace profound.